Hey, good Friday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majestic back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with the Weather Report. The North Georgia edition exclusively for you Facebook subscribers and YouTube members here on your Friday, March 27th, 2026. It's also Free Sampler Friday, so everybody gets the report today. And consider becoming a subscriber there on Facebook or a member on YouTube and help our efforts to build a professional 24-hour weather channel. Again, grow our numbers and make it easier for us, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on out there this morning. We're looking at Brazelton, outside my backyard there, Dahlonega, Blairsville, Dalton, everybody out and about looking pretty good for this morning. We have a lot of sunshine today, folks. That's definitely going to be the big story for it. At least starting this morning, we got very mild temperatures, even at 4,700 feet. It's only 51 degrees there in Brazelton up there at Brasstown Ball this morning. So definitely a warm start and a mild start up there in Blairsville as well. They're one of the cooler locations. They're bottomed out at about 49 for this morning, so not looking too bad there. Dahlonega looking at a nice sunrise there over the mountains as it's coming on up there, looking pretty good there. Temperature there at 63 degrees, so it's balmy there, even there as well. And really looking pretty good. Helen's checking in at 51, not bad. Nice sunrise there coming up over the hills there as well. And Athens looking pretty good. We've got a lot of clear skies down toward the UGA campus. And Hiawassee up toward Lake Chattooga also looking pretty good. 55 degrees there right now. And boy, that lake level sure could use some help. But unfortunately, maybe next weekend. Maybe as we head toward next weekend, the following weekend, heading toward Easter, we might get some rains in here. A few clouds up there across Lake Chattooga here for this morning. But again, we're expecting a pretty good dose of sunshine here for later today. Now, what we're going to be watching, folks, is we're going to be watching this cold front here up to the nose. Right now, it's currently stationary, but this thing's going to start moving and start diving down this way, and it's going to be bringing in some cooler temperatures here all across the south, okay? We'll see temperatures getting more seasonal for those daytime highs. They will be below normal for the morning lows. In the northeast zones, y'all might have to deal with some frost going into this upcoming weekend. So if you haven't done any planting, if you have done planting, just take some precautions just in case. And hopefully that'll be one of the last times we have to see anything like this coming our way, and we can go ahead and start doing our spring planting season. Get that going right now. Now, as we're looking at for today, look at the satellite picture. We're going to be watching is these clouds are going to start to kind of move on into our area. Okay, so we'll have a lot of sunshine for a majority of the day. By later in the afternoon, we'll get some clouds. Couldn't rule out a spotty shower, nothing widespread. It's going to be very, very spotty and isolated. You get a raindrop on your front porch, you won the rain lottery for today. It's not going to be a whole lot out there. But the good news is, folks, we are heading toward a pattern change. So as we go into April and we flip the calendar, we are going to get some more rains back here. I know the drought index came out yesterday. It is elevated. It is continuing to go up to level 2 and 3 conditions across the state. We could use a lot of rain. I mean, we're looking at probably 15, 20 inches we're going to need here to even bust this drought. And we'll take whatever we can get at this point. We'll show you what we're currently expecting, at least for the next 10 days, to kind of get you started here. So let's go ahead and first take a look at our model data. We're going to be looking at the North American model. I've got it on the reflectivity presentation, kind of what a radar would look like, right? All right, so we're going to kind of watch this. Going to watch that little timestamp. Timestamp is up there in that upper right-hand corner. You kind of see it right up there, right where my arrow is right there. That's where you're looking. And look where it's going on. So, again, you see this moisture coming to the south, but it's fizzling out, folks. You see a little green there showing up there as you go into this evening. I mean, again, as you go into late today, you couldn't rule out an isolated shower. I mean, it's very low chance, but most of us are going to stay on the dry side. And this thing moves on through. We'll see cooler weather moving on back in here for your Saturday morning. It'll be noticeably cooler outside, and your daytime highs will also be cooler there on Sunday. But the weekend's looking dry. We're going to have a lot of sunshine this weekend. It'll be cooler as we go toward Palm Sunday there on Sunday. All right, so temperature-wise, again, today's highs, again, we'll be flirting. I'm officially going for 86 there in Atlanta, and right now they're showing 82 there on the high-resolution model. But, again, that frontal system will be kind of moving on in here as we go into the late in the afternoon. And we could be seeing some record highs for today, but noticeably cooler for tomorrow morning, or cool it right back down here as we take it toward Saturday morning. Now, it's also going to be a bit breezy. Now, although the temperatures up here are showing 30s, middle 30s up here across the North Georgia counties in here, the winds will be up tomorrow morning. So I'm not worried about frost being too big of a problem tomorrow morning. Not the same for Sunday morning, okay? So, but it will be noticeably colder out there by some 30 degrees. I mean, a lot of areas up there in North Georgia are sitting here in the 60s this morning, like Dahlonega, for example. So we're talking 20 to 30 degrees colder behind this front. And then we're going to see tomorrow afternoon highs here going into tomorrow afternoon in the 60s, normal high around 68 or so. So we're fairly close. It's a little bit below, but not by much. So looks like a pretty decent day there ahead for your Saturday. Now let's go ahead and talk jet stream. This big old dome out here, this has been responsible for all the record highs. All this stuff's been kind of lingering. We're going to get rid of this thing, finally getting it on out of here, but it's going to take a little while to do it. So what it's going to do, after this cool down, we're going to have the whatever's remaining of this high sitting down here in the Gulf. So we'll have westerly wind. We're going to warm back up going into next week. So we're going to warm up pretty decently going into next week, and we'll be back in the 80s again for a little while. Then we're going to get a more active subtropical jet stream that's going to come out. So here's one big trough coming in here. This is the subtropical here. This is going to get a lot more active here, and we're going to see a lot of moisture coming in out of the Pacific here across Texas, coming into the southeast. We'll get better opportunities for rain across the middle of the country and glancing below the southeast. Still some residual high there across Florida. I know Florida's had severe drought for a while. Here's a pretty good push with a pretty good system here. Not really in a great configuration as far as any kind of severe weather for that being a threat, but definitely more precipitation here as we go toward the following weekend, going into the end of the week on Friday. So we're definitely heading into a wetter pattern. That's good news. We definitely will take that as we go in toward April. So again, here's that big dome. Again, we're looking at the anomaly map here. The orange and reds, that's your high pressure. Blues and greens are your lower pressure. So that's going to be there going in throughout the day, going into Tuesday. So you see that, but it starts to lose its control over the country. You see the blue out toward the west. That's the troughiness there. So we're going to swing this on out, and we're going to see that give way. So this means we'll have opportunities for better storm systems and chances of rain to move on in here. Here's a little pocket of energy coming down, going toward the 10th and 11th off the track, going in toward the following week. So better chances for rain are going to be here. That's the good news there. And we can track that moisture. This is our dew point measure. That darker green, that is your moisture content. So you can see the front coming down at us. That's going to come down for the weekend, obviously, and kind of dry us out for the weekend. So no rains for the weekend, unfortunately. But look what happens as we go into next week. We're going to be increasing that green. That's the amount of moisture, dew point in the air. We're going to bring a lot more moisture in here as we go toward the middle of the week. And so maybe as we head toward Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see some pockets of some rain and going into next weekend. All right. So I will say yesterday's run during the day was a little more aggressive with the rain totals than what we're seeing now, but we at least getting a lot of green and some moisture out of the Gulf here across our area going into April. So that's some good news to see and give us better opportunities for some rain there. So as we look at the European model again, we're saying goodbye to this little quick system here for the week. Going into Sunday, no problems. Monday, no problems there. It starts to try to bring back some moisture on Tuesday. Not putting anything in there on Tuesday. I got a spotty chance on Wednesday for right now. There's Wednesday. Might get some rain. There's Thursday. Seeing a lot more aggressive here going into Wednesday night and Thursday. So, again, we'll see what the 12Z run does here, the day run here, to see if we need to up our rain chances for Wednesday and Thursday. It's possible we might do that, kind of lingering there into Good Friday. And as far as Easter weekend's concerned, it's a little bit far out, but I want to kind of give you an idea here what's going on here. So Saturday during the day is not looking too bad, and then going into Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, there's 8 o'clock. It's right now showing it dry. So the timing on this in and around Easter can change. Again, we're still 228 hours out here, folks. So it looks like that rain holds off, and then there's a front coming in here going in toward the 7th. So there's a front coming on there right there. So as far as the rainfall totals are concerned, not as high as what I posted yesterday, like what I said, 2 to 3. Now it looks more like 1 to 2 in this zone, but it's still in the same general area. A lot of heavy rains back here to the west. We're going to get into this eventually. Poor South Georgia just can't buy a drop down there, not as much as they need, that's for sure, but definitely looking a little bit wetter. And if I take this all the way out to the end of the run, again, you see not a whole lot of change there as far as the totals. They come up a little bit more across North Georgia, but South Georgia, not all that much. Down here, southwest Alabama or southeast Alabama, Florida Panhandle could use more rain, but definitely wetter across the country. We're seeing that trend. Hopefully we can get a little more in our areas here. So let's go look at our climate outlook here. Let's kind of wrap this report up here. Again, you kind of get an idea what's going to be coming your way by looking at the long range. So as we look at our climate outlook here, again, that what's left of that dome or what's left of the heat is going to be moving our way. So expect those above normal temperatures here for next week. They'll kind of come back at us here again. So this is going from the 1st to the 5th. And then holding in place still the 8th to the 14th, still looking at above normal temperatures all across the southeast. Precipitation-wise, trying to bring it back up, at least getting us near normal, and then we go above normal going from the 3rd through the 9th. So that's some good news. Wetter weather, hopefully getting some more rains in here. As far as anything looking like an imminent severe weather event, not seeing it, just seeing rain right now, maybe a few thunderstorms, but nothing severe in here that's kind of catching my eye right now for the moment. That's all subject to change, obviously, as we get closer to any particular rain event. We are going to have some warmer weather to deal with. Whenever you got warmer weather, you got one of the ingredients for severe weather. It's just whether you're going to have the dynamics there or not to fire up some thunderstorms and look if we're going to have any severe weather. Because April is one of our severe weather months, and we definitely want to be ready and have you all prepared for that. All right, anyway, that's y'all's update for today. Hope you guys have a great and safe weekend. I will be working at Fox 5 on Sunday morning. And I do have some days coming up in April during spring break week for folks at the station. I got like 4 days in a week I got to work. So I'll let you know those days that I'll be filling in for the guys there at Fox 5. All right, that's it for now. Y'all take it easy. Be good, stay safe. And we'll see you guys on Monday. You guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.